Okay, I've been trying some new products, guys. I have been trying some things for a while. Like, I've been trying stuff for several months and I have some thoughts. So we are here to do a speed reviews. I am going to share with you some products that are new to the market and new to me and my thoughts. I'm gonna let you know if you should pick these up or if you should pass on them. So let's go ahead and dive in. I do want to say, although it looks like I am not wearing a top, I am. I just, my hair, it's hot in Texas, so you can't really tell. We are going to start with perhaps the oldest purchase in my collection. And by the oldest, it's really not even that old, but I have been trying this for like 6 months. I think I got it in October. Ravie Beauty, that is the brand from Allie Glines. She came out with blushes at the end of 2024, and I picked one up. It is a baked blush. I have the shade Paradise. Now, the thing is, I didn't really expect to necessarily love this. Now, I didn't think I wasn't going to not like it, but I didn't expect to love this as much as I do because I'm just not really into baked blushes. However, something about this blush has made it my go-to. These are the Endless Diffusion Everyday Baked Blushes. They are made in Italy. I tend to love makeup that is made in Italy, but this has become a fast favorite for me, a go-to. It stays, literally, it lives in my bathroom, and anytime I'm getting ready, like for work in the morning or just on a day today, and I don't want to actually think about my blush, this is what I'm reaching for. It just looks good with everything. It's like the perfect kind of mauve-y type of tone that I love. It looks good with a warm eye. It looks good with a cooler eye. Like, it's just a fantastic blush. And as someone with incredibly dry skin, it gives me this like luminosity and glow without there being any shimmers. There are no sparkles, there are no glitters. Like, when I'm looking at it, it looks like it's going to be matte, but when I apply it to the skin, it just looks absolutely amazing. And at the same time that I purchased the blush, Ravie Beauty did come out with a blush brush as well. This is just the Ravie Beauty blush brush, I guess is what it's called. And I love the way that it's kind of this like fluffy dome shape. Typically I use one that's more angled and fluffy from Sigma, but I really enjoy this one. It's not too large. It fits perfectly on like my cheekbones. I like to take it up kind of on the higher points of my cheeks and on the apples of my cheeks. When I was watching Allie's video, she said that she made it kind of like universal, the same size all the way around versus an angled brush, because then you can put product on it wherever and it doesn't matter, you can apply it. It works fantastically. Like, I absolutely love this blush brush. You guys know I've been very loyal to the brushes that are in my collection, and this has become a fast favorite. So this is a combination that I absolutely love. I think it is so worth it. When I saw that Ravie Beauty was going to accept like affiliate links and they were going to accept affiliates, I was like, how do I sign up? How do I sign up? So the links for these products down below are affiliate links. Thank you so much. Meaning I earn a commission if you purchase from the link. So I appreciate that. That helps my channel out, but I reached out to them. They didn't ask me to do this. They probably don't even know who I am. I purchased these. I didn't get an NPR, but these are absolutely amazing. And I just want to go ahead and stick with Ravie Beauty because one of the newer products, if not the newest, like this blush is the one that I purchased at the end of 2024, but perhaps the newest product to my collection is the Ravie Beauty Eyebrow Pencil. Now, if you've been here for a while, you guys know I'm picky with my eyebrows, okay? I do not just let any eyebrow pencil come into my life. First of all, I have to create a brow. I have nothing. I am a natural redhead. My hairs are very blonde and light. I have been using Anastasia Beverly Hills for literal years. Like, before I had my children, I was using ABH. So I saw that Ravie Beauty came out with a brow pencil and I wanted to try it out because I have been loving the things from the brand, but I was a little nervous because they didn't have quite a wide variety of shades. And I used Caramel from the ABH brand, and that seems to be the perfect shade for my natural red hair because I feel like when I try some that are like made for redheads, they're almost a little bit too orange. But y'all, this brow pencil, first of all, I use the shade Light Brown. It is what is in my brows today. I think it is absolutely fantastic. It's a great shade match for my natural red hair, my auburn red hair. It's not too orange, but it's also not too brown. And the thing that I love about it is that it creates these nice brow-like strokes, but it doesn't tug on my brow. It's not difficult to apply. I almost feel like I might have a love-hate relationship with it. I love the fact that it is a nice thin brow. I'm able to be very precise with it. I'm able to create hair-like strokes, but also it applies so easily that I don't have to press too hard, I don't have to drag, and I am able to complete an entire brow with just this pencil. Whereas before, I would use multiple products to create the look that I wanted. I can use just one pencil. But the reason why I say love-hate relationship is the hate part is I feel like I'm gonna go through this pretty quickly because because it's so creamy and I have like no brows, when I am trying to fill in, like I kind of go ham. I just fill in the whole brow. It glides on so easily. Like I feel like it's not gonna last me very long. I mean, not that that's necessarily a problem, but you have to think if you're someone like me who has to create a brow, this is a fantastic product. Like it works well, but just keep in mind that you may use it very quickly. Now I could be wrong. This is an assumption. It's a new product to me, so I could be completely wrong and maybe it'll last me all year. I don't know. Typically I go through like 2 brow pencils a year. I also love the way that Allie was thinking about the packaging. So you have the sleek gray packaging, but there is a spoolie on one end with the gray packaging, and then on the front you have this gold packaging where the actual product is for you to twist up. And so I love that because you're not going to accidentally like put the wrong cap. They do not fit the other way. So very nice, very thoughtful, and I'm impressed. Honestly, I've been using the same brow products for a really long time, and I'm impressed with this one. Now I have tried several foundation products recently. When I'm saying recently, I think they're all 2025 if I'm not mistaken, and I do believe that I have videos using these. So if I do, I'll link them down below. I know for a fact I have a video trying the Lawless Forget the Filler Skin Plumping Line Smoothing Foundation, but I kind of wanted to give you an update. Now that I've been using it for a while, now that I have more thoughts on it, I have more to say. So I wanted to revisit it. First of all, I have the shade 2F. One thing I will say that stands true that I said in my initial video is that I feel like the shade range is very weird. I know that I look very fair, and I am very fair, but I'm not typically in the fair category. When I'm purchasing foundations, I tend to fall into the light category, like you'll see in some of the other foundations that are coming up. But for this one, I am the second to the lightest shade, too fair. It is a nice neutral undertone, I would say, but this foundation does kind of lean a little bit more on the medium to full coverage, and I am someone who likes more of like a light to medium natural finish. This tends to be a little bit more matte heavy. It's not a foundation that I dislike, but I do have a preferred way to use it. When I am using the Forget the Filler foundation, I will first pump this onto my hand and put a little bit of my Auric Glow Lust in it as well and mix it together and apply it that way, because I feel like the Auric Glow Lust gives it a little bit more luminosity, gives it a little bit more glow, and doesn't make it look or feel so heavy on my skin. I wouldn't say that this is like a favorite for a day to day, but if there's something where you want a little bit more coverage, maybe an event or a date night or something like that, I would reach for it here, but this isn't one that I'm reaching for on the daily. But I don't dislike it. I haven't decluttered it, so there you go. Another foundation that I have been trying is this one from Milk Makeup. This is newer to their collection. This is the Grip Gel Tint, and remember when I was talking about shade ranges? I'm in the shade 5 for this one, okay? I am in the shade 5. It is the foundation gel tint that I am wearing today. One thing I will say about this is it is part of the Hydro Grip line. I do not like the Hydro Grip primer. I have tried that in the past. It's just too, like, it pills up on me. It's too finicky, and when I've talked to other people about it, they've been like, oh yeah, you kind of have to let this sit, or you have to let this sit and then apply it. It's too much work for me. I don't like it. With this, I don't find that it's finicky or that I have to use it a certain way or that I have to be gentle with it, but it is definitely part of the Hydro Grip line in the sense that when I do apply it on my skin, I do feel like there is a little bit of tack when I'm initially applying it. There is a little bit of a feeling there or a sensation of like tackiness, or it feels unset, and this is coming from someone who does not set their whole face, okay, ever. Like, I never set my whole face, I just set underneath my eyes. But this, I feel like I need to take a little bit of powder and kind of put it all over the face just because it does feel grippy and unset. The other thing I will say about this is definitely a tint for me, a skin tint. It gives me very light coverage. I can see all of my freckles underneath. It very much feels like my skin. Like when I apply it, it looks like my skin. I'm not someone who struggles with like redness or uneven skin color on my face or anything like that. I feel like this would probably do a great job of evening that out, but really that's it. Like it's not gonna cover blemishes, it's not gonna cover up texture. It's not super long wearing. It doesn't wear away super quickly, but it's not super long wearing. This is more my speed for like day to day, like going to work, or, you know, I just need something for a few hours. I want it to look kind of natural. You know, this is what I reach for there. But I wouldn't say that it's going to be like a top favorite for me, but I don't hate it also. So both kind of the Lawless and the Milk mid-range. This next foundation though is the one that I have been reaching for and that I have been loving, and I picked this up during the Sephora VIB sale. It is the Dior Forever Skin Perfect Skin Tint Face Stick. I picked up the shade 2N and I love this stuff. I didn't know how I was gonna feel about a foundation stick. Those aren't typically my favorite types of foundation to apply just because I do have dry skin, but I find that this is not uncomfortable on the skin. It gives me more of a medium coverage, more than the Milk, but not quite as much as the Lawless. It gives me a natural finish. It's not overly glossy or dewy. It's not completely matte, almost like a satin finish. That's really what it feels like and looks like on the skin. It's very easy to apply. I just streak it onto my face and blend it out with a beauty sponge. You could use a brush if you wanted a little bit more coverage. I will say, there is a scent, a light, almost floral fresh scent, not like heavily floral like your grandma, but there is a floral note in there, a floral undertone. So it is scented, just if that's something that bothers you. I can smell it when I'm applying it to my face, but when the foundation stick is not near me, I don't smell it on my face any longer. This surprisingly has been what I've been reaching for on the day to day. Like when I'm throwing my makeup on in the morning, I don't want to think about it. I need something that's quick and easy because it is a stick. It's very fast for me to apply. I just kind of put it all over my face and blend it in and I'm good to go. I picked this up after watching Morgan Turner's Dior Foundation video, and she spoke very highly of this one and just Dior foundations in general. So during the sale, I wanted to pick it up and I was not disappointed. There are a couple other products that I picked up during the Sephora VIB sale, one being a bronzer. I do not have a ton of bronzers in my collection, like definitely more than I need, probably more than the average person, but bronzers aren't something that I feel like I go overly crazy for. However, ever since this YSL All Hours Hyper Bronze Bronzer released, it's been on my mind. The packaging is very luxe, this like cushion packaging with the YSL on it. It's very thick and bulky, very luxurious looking. And then when you open it up, there's a mirror inside. You have the YSL imprint. It is a nice matte bronzer. That's what I look for. Although I have dry skin and I want more of like a natural satin finish on the face and I want to highlight and I want some glow, I want my bronzer to be matte. So this bronzer, I have been using it for several months now, and I will say, this is a great natural bronzer. It is very, very natural. I have the shade, what shade do I have? 02? It's a very natural bronzer on my skin, one that I have to build up. This is not one where I have to be careful when I'm dipping in or that I just do one swipe and I have pigment. I have to build up multiple layers, but it does have a nice neutral undertone. I try to stay away from bronzers that are too warm because they do pull orange with my hair and I don't like that, but I also don't want something that's too cool. This is a nice kind of medium neutral bronzer. I will just say I do have to build it up. So on a day to day, like when I'm getting ready for work, like this is a great bronzer. But if there's like a glam night, I'm trying to go out, I'm trying to look, you know, like chiseled and contoured and bronzed all in one, this probably isn't what I would reach for. I love the texture of it. I've been using it a ton. The embossing is still there. There's no scent. It's very easy to apply and I've been enjoying this one. Now I can't remember if I picked these next two items up during the sale or not, but they're both blushes, and I did do a blush off video that I will leave down below demoing both of these blushes and using them and talking about them because they released kind of at the same time. So the first is from Tower 28 and is the Get Set Long Beach Iced Tea powder blush. Now, Tower 28 is known for their cream products, and me not being a cream lover, I have not tried a ton of their cream products. So when they came out with a powder blush, I was like, yes, tell me more. So I purchased the one that's just more neutral, Long Beach Iced Tea. I like it. I think it's a good blush. It is a matte blush. The pigmentation is nice. I'm able to build it up. It's not too heavy. It's a nice natural shade. I think the blush itself is fine. It is a nice blush. But what I will say is I have blushes that I like more. So I don't think this is like a blush that I don't like or wouldn't recommend, but ever since making my blush off video, I haven't really been using it a ton. So I feel like that also speaks volumes. Like, it's good. It's fine. It's a nice blush. I just haven't been reaching for it. Kind of same thing goes with the Rare Beauty. This is the Rare Beauty Matte Bouncy Blush. I picked up the shade Worth, which is a similar tone, a little bit different, but I was curious about this because it has a bouncy texture. So it's not quite cream, not quite powder, kind of a cream to powder. This one I would say has more pigmentation than the Tower 28. It does apply nicely. I think the shade is great. I did like that this isn't a full-on cream and it does feel like a powder on my skin. Again, I liked it, I enjoyed it, but I just have blushes that I like more. This is also a matte blush. I think the color is great. It applied nicely, but again, I just have other blushes that I like more. So since filming my blush off video, I really haven't been reaching for this one either. Now I want to talk about some blushes that I have been loving, that I have been reaching for. I do want to start by saying that these blushes were gifted to me. All of the other products that I've talked about so far, I purchased myself, but recently I went to Destin for the Creators and Friends trip and I was gifted the Unearthly blushes. These are called the Incandescent Glowing Blushes. And I have all of them. So there are 5 different shades here. You have some pops of color, you have some neutrals. Overall, these blushes, like, this is my cup of tea, y'all, okay? This is what I enjoy in a blush. So first of all, when you open it up, it looks like it's gonna be matte in the pan. I don't see any shimmers, I don't see any glitters, I don't see any speckles. But when you apply this on the cheeks, this is what I have on my cheeks today, and I have no highlighter on my cheeks. And there is just the most beautiful satin finish that gives a subtle glow without chunks, without shimmer, without glitter, just like a healthy look on my cheeks. That is what I am going for. This one right here is the shade Dusk. I actually have Dusk on this side of my face, and then I have the shade Mystic on this side of my face. So Dusk is more of that almost peachy neutral type of shade, and Mystic is still a neutral, but it has more of like a mauvey undertone. These come in cute little cardboard packaging. I think the design on the front is absolutely amazing. I was able to try these out in Florida when we first got them, and I actually mixed Dusk and Mystic together, and I thought that it looked amazing. These are nice and pigmented. I go in with a light hand, but you are also able to build it up, but it doesn't look crazy when I apply it on my face. Like, I can build it up and look very blushed, but it still looks natural and healthy and glowy. So I absolutely love that. They also came out with the shade Crush, and Crush is like that cool toned bubblegum pink that everybody's been going for. So I'm really excited that they came out with this one, but I find this to be a wearable pink. I almost feel like the Dior pink shade is a little bit too like bubblegummy, just like a little bit too much, but the shade Crush I feel like is more toned down and more the way that I would want to wear that type of pink. Then you have these 2 bright blushes that I honestly didn't know how I was going to feel about these. And it's Blaze and Lumen. And when I was using these in a video, I mixed these together as well, but I didn't know that I was going to love these as much as I actually do. And they look amazing on me. So here is the shade Lumen. And then this one right here is the shade Blaze. So you can see Blaze is more of an orange and Lumen is almost more of like a little bit of a raspberry undertone, still leaning more on the coral side, but almost a little bit of coral raspberry. And I looked at these initially and I was like, there's no way. There is no way this neutral lover is going to be able to pull these off. And y'all, these look amazing. I just go in with a light hand, I apply a little bit, I mixed these together, and I took the deeper Lumen shade, not today, but when I was using them together, I took the deeper Lumen shade on the back of my cheeks, and then I took Blaze and put it on the apples of my cheeks, and it wasn't too much. It wasn't too much. It looked amazing. So I cannot say enough nice things about these blushes. Like, they're absolutely what I look for in a blush. Being a neutral lover, I was a little weary of the shades, but if that's you, do not let that stop you, because these blushes are so beautiful and so glowy and healthy looking without being too much. So these I have been reaching for a ton. In just a minute, we're going to switch gears and kind of go over to skincare and fragrance, but I didn't know where else to throw this in. I picked up a lip liner. This is the Lisa Eldridge Sculpt and Shade Lip Pencil in N0. I picked this up on Morgan Turner's recommendation. When she came out with her collab with Odin's Eye, she was talking about using this Lisa Eldridge lip liner. And I was like, you know what? I like a lip liner. I like Lisa Eldridge, and I like the way that this looked with one of Morgan's lip shades. So I ended up purchasing it. And I will say, I don't have anything bad to say about this. It is a wooden pencil similar to MAC, but a little bit creamier than MAC. MAC sometimes is a little too dry and too tuggy, but this is still a wooden pencil, so it's not going to be as creamy as something like the Charlotte Tilbury. There is a little bit of tug there, which makes it long lasting. I think the shade is fantastic. One thing that I will say, I feel like this is kind of a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury. I will insert the clip that I just filmed, but I used these two together, and Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude, you can see. I've been loving this. I feel like these shades are similar. The N0 might be a little bit lighter and the Charlotte Tilbury may be a little bit deeper, but overall these are very, very similar. So if you have one, I don't necessarily think you need the other. Like, if you have Charlotte Tilbury and you're like, should I get the Lisa Eldridge? I don't think you necessarily need to. But if your Charlotte Tilbury is like this size and you want this shade and you want to try out Lisa Eldridge, I think this is a fine lip liner. But at the end of the day, if it came down to it, I would repurchase the Charlotte Tilbury over the Lisa Eldridge. So I've had this in my purse. I've been using it. I've been enjoying it. It's fine. It's a fine product. I like it. But for what I have to pay to get it into my collection, I would just go to Sephora and get the Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude over again. Now I want to talk about Rhode Beauty for a minute, the brand by Hailey Bieber, because I have some makeup products and some skincare products, and I did a whole video testing and trying Rhode products, so I'll have that listed down below. But now I've been using these for several months, and I definitely have thoughts. So first, I picked up a shade of the Pocket Blushes. I got the shade Freckle. This is fine. If you're into cream products, this is fine. It gives you a very nice kind of neutral flush of color. You can apply it by stamping it right on, blending it out with your fingers. You can apply it onto a brush or a sponge if you'd like. It's fine. It's a fine cream product. I don't love cream products, so other than filming the video and trying this a couple of times after that, I haven't really found myself reaching for this. But take it from me, I am not a cream lover. So there are plenty of cream lovers who have been loving that product. For me, nah, it's a take it or leave it. One product I absolutely do not like. I do not like this. This is the, what is it supposed to be? The lip contour, the peptide lip shape in the shade Lunge. There has been a lot of controversy about these little lip pencils. Is it a lip pencil? Is it not? Is it a lip liner? Is it a contour? What is it? Y'all, these just wipe away. It wipes away completely. It wipes away completely. There is no lasting power to it. Don't eat, don't drink, don't wipe your face, don't kiss your children or your partner. Like, there's nothing. It is completely gone. I am not someone who is going to try and like contour and then put a gloss on it. Okay, maybe there is a market for this where that is what people want to do, but that is not me. If I am putting a lip product on, I need it to last through me talking. I need it to last through me teaching. I need it to last through me eating and drinking and kissing my children, and this does not. So this was a huge epic fail for me. I would not recommend this. I would say just get a lip pencil. I just don't, that's not a product that I want to convince myself to like. So moving on to the skincare, I picked up like multiple products because if I was gonna try Rhode, I wanted to try Rhode, right? So first I picked up the Pineapple Refresh PGA Daily Cleanser. I will say, I am very happy that I picked up the small travel size because I will not be repurchasing this when it is gone. I don't necessarily think it is a bad face wash, but for me, I have dry skin and this almost feels like it's too stripping. Like, when I wash my face, it leaves like a squeaky clean feeling. And I was saying that to someone and they were like, oh, I like that. Like, what's wrong with a squeaky clean feeling? Nothing if that's how you want your face to feel. But I'm coming from using the Prequel cleanser, which makes my skin feel hydrated after using it. And so this leaves me feeling stripped. So I'm going to use it up. It didn't break me out. It's not like irritating my skin. I'm going to use it up, but it's not something that I would repurchase. I also picked up probably a fan favorite, most talked about product, the Glazing Milk. This is a facial essence. I have been using it after I've cleansed my face. I put it into my hands and just kind of press it into the skin. It says that you can use this morning and night, and it is supposed to be a restorative cream. Hailey Bieber is marketing this as something that is going to give you like glossy skin, like an overly hydrated glass skin look. If you have very dry skin, I do not think you are going to get that from this product. If you have normal skin, maybe. If you have oily skin, probably. If you have dry skin, no. It's hydrating. It feels comfortable on the skin. It's not as hydrating as like my Laneige cream skin toner that I've used for years and years and years. This almost feels a little sticky, a little tacky. So I was kind of surprised. It wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting more like milkier, more hydration, more soothing, and it has a little bit more tack to it. I also did purchase the product that's supposed to go with it, the peptide glazing fluid, and this is the dewy hydration layer. A serum, I guess. I don't really know what this is supposed to be. A serum? A serum. Again, I would wash my face and then I would go in with the glazing milk and then I would put this on. This is fine. It is like a serum texture. I put it on my skin. It feels hydrating. But again, even with using these two products together, my skin doesn't look like glass skin after. I have products in my collection that are more hydrating than these two. So now I'm using these just out of the simple fact that I have them, but they're not something that I would repurchase, honestly. I wouldn't. The product that I do think is fine, maybe the best out of all of these, is the Barrier Restore Cream, a rich face concentrate, the moisturizer. I like it. It is moisturizing, it is hydrating, it gives my skin a nice burst, a nice drink of energy. Do I like it more than like my Pharmacy Honey Halo? No, but if I were going to repurchase anything, this would be what I repurchase. Like, I think the moisturizer is good. It does what it needs to do for my face. So overall, I wasn't blown away by the Rhode products. I don't get the virality, I don't get the hype, it's just not my cup of tea. It's just not my cup of tea. So I honestly would pass on all that. Also, when it comes to skincare, I did want to dip my toe into the Korean sunscreen pond, and I know that maybe that's a little controversial because right now with tariffs and everything, it's near impossible to get these, but I wanted to try it, okay? I wanted to know. This is the Beauty of Joseon Relief Sun Rice and Probiotics SPF 50 plus PA plus 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 plus. Kelly Gooch raves about this, and I wanted to try it, and I finished up the SPF that I had from, I think it was like the Good Molecules one that I had been using forever. I finished it up and I was like, you know what? Kelly has raved about this. I want to try it. I want something that is going to give me some protection and hydration. And I am sad to say that I fell in love with this. And I'm sad to say that because it's so difficult to get your hands on. I ordered mine from Yes Style. I know Amazon has a lot of knockoffs right now. These are difficult to get. I ordered a backup immediately after trying this and it's still not here yet. It took over a month to get to me. But I do really, really enjoy this sunscreen because it feels like a moisturizer going on. There is no funky sunscreen scent. There is no white residue. It doesn't feel overly thick. It doesn't feel uncomfortable. It feels like I'm putting a moisturizer on my face, and I love to put this on. So sadly, I fell in love with it at a time when it is very difficult to get your hands on, but highly, highly recommend. Also, a product that was gifted to me by a friend that I fell in love with when I was talking about Rhode and how those products just didn't hydrate the way that I wanted to. Let me tell you what does. My bestie Heather Austin was like, you need to try this. This is the Tier Ceramic Milk Ampule. I love this stuff. I love this stuff. She sent it to me and was like, I want to know what you think. And so I have been applying this at night because it is a little bit thicker. It is a little bit heavier on the skin, but this stuff is amazing. I am talking absolutely amazing. So nourishing, so hydrating, but it doesn't sit and feel oily on the skin. Like, it really soaks into my skin. This gives me glass skin feel. I will put this on after I've washed, after I've toned, then I put this on and I put my moisturizer on top. And y'all, when I ordered a backup of the Beauty by Joseon sunscreen, I ordered a backup of this as well, off YesStyle, because this one's almost gone and I need another. Okay, I think that's all for skincare and makeup, so let me share some fragrances with you. I am not a fragrance guru, okay? I am not going to claim to be. I have been someone who has always just had one scent, and that is what I've stuck with, but I've kind of been exploring more fragrances. So one that came as a recommendation, I think by my friend Amanda, Makeup Just for Fun. It is from 5 Scents, and this is Life of the Party. Now the notes are black currant, peach blossom, saffron, midnight jasmine, and amber oaks. I don't know what to tell you about scents or fragrances. For me, it's very much like a fruity floral. Like, not overly floral. It doesn't smell like I'm smelling a flower, but like a hint of floral, mostly fruity, a very fresh feel. I like this for an everyday. Going to work, spray it on. It gives me a nice light scent. I like the way I'm feeling in this. So this is like my day-to-day go-to. But then I wanted something that was like more for date night, right? Like for the evening, not for when I'm going to work as a teacher, but more sultry. So this one I think was a recommendation from my friend Angie and Yellow Kanikvist. This is the KBellaBeauty Invite Only Amber. And this one is very, very different from the 5 Scents. This one almost smells a little bit more like cologne, smoky, dusky. I'll put the notes on the screen. Like, this one definitely is giving date night. This one is a sexy scent. So I will wear that for the evening. Absolutely love that one. Then, speaking of KBellaBeauty, everybody was talking about both the Yum Pistachio and the Yum Bougie Marshmallow. And these came in like a little pack that you could purchase. And so during the VIB sale, I picked it up and I used these together actually. So the pistachio one, my friend Angie has loved that for a long time. I mixed these together. This one is a little bit stronger, not quite as strong as the amber, but a little bit of a stronger scent. And so I like to mix it with the Bougie Marshmallow because this one is very sweet. This one's a very, very sweet candy scent. And when you mix them together, that's how I use it. It's absolutely amazing. This is one that I would use for a day-to-day. I'll also use it like on the weekend if we're going out with friends. I would use this all the time. These two are amazing, and I totally would recommend like using them together. But then, so I was going on a trip, Creators and Friends, Destin, and I wanted something that was like beachy, right? And I kept hearing people talk about Ellis Brooklyn, Ellis Brooklyn, Ellis Brooklyn. So I picked up Miami Nectar. I had not smelled this. I just went on a limb during the Sephora VIB sale and picked this up, and I have not regretted that decision. This one's very beachy, very much like coconut vibes, almost like, what's that sunscreen that smells good? The Hawaii tropical one? It's almost giving that scent with like a hint of coconut, but it's light. It's light and fruity. Like, this is what I would put on when I was in Destin, like for daytime, when I'm going to brunch, if we're going to the beach, if we're going shopping. This was what I brought with me and I wore and I absolutely loved. Then while I was in Destin, I was sitting with Amanda Hayden, the owner of Unearthly Cosmetics, and she was pulling out her fragrances, and I smelled the Kilian Sun-Kissed Goddess. And she was like, go ahead and spray it on yourself. And I was like, girl, say less. This is almost like, I feel like Ellis Brooklyn is like daytime on the beach, and Kilian is like nighttime on the beach. Like, you're having a dinner on the beach, you're going to a fancy restaurant. Like, this is your evening fragrance. It just smells so good. It smells so good. I sprayed hers. I immediately came back and had to purchase it. So I'm going to put the notes on the screen while I'm talking about those because I'm horrible at describing scents, but I love them all. I have no regrets. Those are the scents that I have been trying, and those are the scents that I have been loving. Okay, but that's going to do it for this video. I feel like it's a long one. Some speed reviews that maybe weren't so speedy. some reviews on products I have been trying lately. I would love to know your thoughts down below. Have you tried any of these? What are your thoughts on them? What are some new products that you have been eyeing or that you have tried that you think I might like? I would love to know. But otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe before you go. That way I can see you in the next one. Bye.